Hi, everybody. This is Tanya from Tango Business Coaching, and today is day 13 of the 30-Day Leadership Challenge. And today we are talking about creating psychological safety. So, what is it, and why should we care as leaders? So, an environment that is psychologically safe means that people believe they are free and able to share their ideas, ask questions, raise concerns or mistakes without any kind of reprisal. And by reprisal, we mean, some kind of punishment or humiliation or rejection. Psychologically safe workplaces allow people to feel comfortable being themselves, which means that they'll bring their full selves to work. And it matters for so many reasons, right? So, number one, there's abundant research that diversity of thought benefits organizations. And when you have that, that allows organizations to recognize problems early. It allows for more robust and more creative solutions to those problems. Secondly, if psychological safety doesn't exist, people just won't feel comfortable speaking up about the problems or issues that maybe they find, and that can have massive repercussions. A major failure can impact a business in so many ways, including economically. Third, having a fear to speak up and not feeling part of the team or not feeling valued, all of that leads to disengagement or, quiet quitting, right? As we're talking about these days. All of that leads to a loss of productivity. A loss of productivity then eventually leads to, opportunities lost in terms of having a really great employee and having them take on some things. And all of that leads to turnover and, down the spiral we go. All of that costs so much money, and you're losing great institutional knowledge, and your more senior people spend time training and recruiting and doing all of that. It costs so much money for an organization. And the fourth thing I would say is that psychological safety is really the foundation for innovation. In order to be innovative, there just needs to be an ability to ask questions, build on the idea, break it down, build it back up again. And that's where disruptive thought comes from. And that can change your business. All of this means that conflict is embraced. We call that positive conflict. And people know that when they're in some sort of conflict, it's not personal. This isn't about you and I. This is about us moving something toward the common good and moving there together. So, you might be wondering, how does a leader actually create psychological safety? Really hard to say a lot of times, I have to say. So, Dr. Timothy Clark has done a bunch of research about this. He wrote a book specifically on the path of psychological safety towards innovation. His research indicates that employees must go through the phases in order. And then once they get there, they will feel completely comfortable to, contribute and to challenge the status quo. So those stages are, so the first stage is all about inclusion. The second stage is called learner safety. The third stage is called contributor safety. And the fourth stage is called challenger safety. So go back to stage one. It all starts with helping employees feel like they belong. Inclusion is that first step. So today's challenge is all about that first step. Begin with creating a really, really super intentional strategy that you actually want to build a psychologically safe workplace. And then start with inclusion. Once you get your intention really, really clear and you're solid in that, start with inclusion. So think about what that could mean for your organization, for your team. How do you ensure that all the voices are heard? If you're in a team setting and you're having a discussion, how do you make sure that every single person around the table, in the room, in the virtual room, wherever the room is, how do you make sure they all have a voice? Proactively reaching out and ensuring that their opinions are heard. That's going to start building inclusion. Another idea is, tell them. Let your people know that you are on a mission to create a psychologically safe workplace, and it's starting with inclusion for you. Maybe setting ground rules would be a helpful first step. Ideas like, everybody agreeing that we are going to set judgment aside. And I realize that's easier said than done, right? So then you'd want to get their permission on what does it look like when we step at a line, and as you as the leader have permission to actually call it out and set it aside. Another idea around that piece is, find the 10% of what somebody is saying, find the 10% of truth that's in there. It could look something like, thank you so much for that idea. What I love about that idea is X, Y, and Z. And then you can build off of it. We're so trained to look for the thing that isn't going to work that we forget to actually look for the thing that is going to work. And I want to suggest that, understanding that part of that is a good idea doesn't necessarily mean you agree with that idea. You're just acknowledging that there's part of it that is a good idea in your perspective. So, you know, that could be another idea. Something else is body language. So, eye rolling. These kinds of things, they all speak judgment without saying anything, right? So those could be some ground rules to consider with the team. Another idea, just ask your team, what's it going to take for us to feel like we're going to be more inclusive in our environment? They may have some really great ideas that are going to work for you and the team. So what better way to start than by actually asking them about this particular problem to begin with? So that's your challenge. If you want to learn more about Dr. Timothy Clark's work, go out there and research it. Happy to share what I know about that. So reach out. As always, let me know how things are going. Comment, direct message me, whatever it is. Would love to have that conversation with you. If you need the 30-day tracking challenge tracker, sorry, let me know. I will shoot that out to you. So good luck with your challenge today, and I will see you here tomorrow. Have a great day.